Hello ladies and gentlemen. Today I have a very short but interesting subscriber replay turned in to us by InFerNos1. And we have an interesting situation here. InFerNos1 is from Australia, and he's going to be rolling into a realistic battle on the icy Finland map, driving a German Stug with tropical camouflage against American and Russian tanks. Yeah. Pretty interesting mix. Now, there's been a lot of talk lately about, again, Germans being a little overmatched in many areas, but, at this tier in particular, I don't really think that that's the case. And InFerNos1 is going to show us exactly how efficient a German team can be when they work together. In this match, the Stugs are forming a spearhead for the German team. Very heavily armored for their tier with a good gun and a high rate of fire. They are going to be used to punch through the enemy lines and hold the A capture point. They'll be well supported by German medium tanks of various types that are going to support them and guard their flanks, allowing them to get in there and do their job. And there's the first enemy tank sighted over to the left, but the main force is up at the cap. There's an American M3, and he'll be the first target that InFerNos is going to settle his sights on. He does not last long. The light American tanks just cannot stand up to the firepower thrown out by these Stugs. He almost makes a mistake here and becomes very close to high centering himself on the icy rocks, but manages to free himself and support the other Stugs as they move forward. There's an M5A1. Again, very fast, very agile, but he's a little overmatched here. He's going to try and use his speed to his advantage, but on the icy terrain, sometimes that can work against you. That seems to be a theme in this match. He ends up hung up on the rocks and quickly dispatched. A little tougher opponent is up top, however. There's a Russian T-50 that is well suited to this icy terrain. The Stugs move in to clear the capture point of the enemy intrusion. Flanking shots pound into the T-50 while it's engaged with a Panzer III, giving him a perfect side shot. His ammunition cooks off. Another Russian tank, a BT-7, comes in and puts a shot into InFerNos' side. He'll respond, and his companion in a Stug finishes that tank off fairly quickly. They were both supported by an American 75mm gun motor carriage, an M3, who very quickly realizes he is no match for a combined force of Stugs, and, being battered and pounded, he runs down the hill in an attempt to reposition, but he's not going to get far. The German medium tanks have his number from the opposite hilltop and catch him before he can get away from the base of the hill. Now these light, fast American and Russian tanks normally can do pretty well on this map. There's a lot of rugged terrain for them to race around and get behind the enemy, flanking to maximum effect and utilizing their fairly good guns to their full potential, but in this case they just don't seem to have a chance. These Stugs are crushing every attempt that the American and Russian team is mounting to try and capture the A point. As a matter of fact, the German team has got one lone element out there pushing into the B capture point to secure this match. He seems relatively unopposed, though. The enemy team seems preoccupied with trying to stop this phalanx of Stugs and medium tanks, as well they should. Another T-50 zooms in, again trying to utilize his extremely high speed and mobility to his advantage, but on this icy terrain sometimes, as I've said before, that speed can work against you. And he ends up becoming nothing more than easy meat for the German guns. Now it's simply a matter of pushing forward to the enemy spawn point to cut off any further advances from the enemy team. They don't have much to worry about, though. The other team has been pretty well decimated. and it's not going to take long before we see the last opponent of this match, the mighty Gaz AAA vehicle zooming past, rocketing toward his fate at the bottom of the hill where a well-placed Panzer III easily finishes him off. This was a massacre on Finland, and a clean victory for InFerNos and the rest of his German team. This is the first replay that InFerNos has sent to me, and I wanted to feature it despite its brevity. It was such a classic example of what a well-coordinated team could do. I felt it worthy of getting its own episode. Thanks for sending in the replay, InFerNos. We appreciate it, and I hope to see many more from you. That's it for now. Until I see you again, folks, good hunting. Thanks for watching. I hope you were entertained. If you liked the video, please remember to subscribe. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you. And I'll see you next time.